When the evening settles and the day grows still, stories rise softly from memory's hill. These are the letters we carry inside, stories of love, loss, and pride. Welcome, my friend, to Porch Light Letters.
Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Raumati Beach in New Zealand. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2424. Today we are answering the questions of should interviews be recorded or written? Can I just tell you a little story first? So last night, the dog that I'm looking after decided it wanted to go out at like midnight. So it woke me up. I had to get up at 3 a.m. for a mastermind group starting at 4 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And so at midnight, we're going outside so the dog could do its thing. And I suddenly looked up. Something made me look up. And I looked up, and I have not looked at the starry sky since I got home to New Zealand. It was incredible. Just to take that few minutes and to look up was amazing. And crystal clear sky, beautiful stars out, could see the Milky Way. Stars I haven't seen in a very long time because I only see them when I'm in the Southern Hemisphere. Didn't get to see the Southern Cross though because it was over behind the roof of the house, so I couldn't quite see that one, but it was close by. But it was a magical moment. And I thought, when was the last time I looked up? So, and I thought of all the times I was in Arizona that I looked up at the stars. Yes, you could see some of the stars, but you couldn't see those little stars that are just that you can't see because of the light pollution or the lights that are around at the moment that blur the way. You could only see the stronger stars that could come through. To see the sky like that last night was just magical. So if you're outside at night, don't forget to look up. But anyway, so today we're talking about should interviews be written or recorded? Both. Absolutely both. Recording preserves voice while writing captures reflection. You can take notes while you're. I should really have them with me, but I have a little mini digital recorder that I set going. Sometimes I use my phone because it's got a good voice recorder on it as well. But when I got to meet my great aunt, and it turned out it was the very first time I'd ever met her, because my parents could not remember me meeting her at any time since I was born up until I was in New Zealand for my 40th birthday back a while in 2006. And it's the first time, it's the one and only time I ever got to meet my great aunt. And so my husband and I are sitting there on the couches with her, and we're talking with her and chatting to her about family history because she has a wealth of knowledge of family history. We're just sitting there just chit-chatting with her, and I asked her if she minded if I recorded it. She said no, and this was a spur of the moment thing, but I always carry my digital recorder with me. And so I put it down on the table, but I made the mistake of putting it front side up. And when the front side is up, she could see the little red light that showed it was recording. And she says, "Can you turn that thing off, please?" She says, that little light is annoying me. And she was being just a little conservative about her approach to answering questions at that time. So I said, "Sure." So I picked it up, made it like I was turning it. And when I put it back down, I turned it so she still had the microphone pointing towards it, but she couldn't see the red light. The moment that I put it back down and she couldn't see that red light, she just blossomed and opened up and just started, and we got so much information out of her. And she was going from one story to the other, and this went on for, I think, about an hour, almost an hour. We didn't have to ask her any. They'd ask a couple of clarifying questions, but basically she just talked. So the audio recording captures the tone and the emotion. And I was sitting there with pen and paper, just jotting down little notes here and there on the stuff I wanted to go back to and writing down questions for follow-up questions, that sort of thing. But voice recordings preserve the rhythm and personality of the storyteller. The laughter, the pauses, and tone often carry meaning behind the words themselves. Audio helps future generations hear the person behind the story. I mean, can you imagine in 100 years' time, your great-great-grandchildren could be... my mum just sent me a text message. It's funny, she sends me a text message just after 2:00 in the afternoon, knowing I do a podcast at 2. But that's okay. It's my mum, and I love her dearly. But imagine future generations from now in like 100 years' time being able to hear your voice and your stories told in your voice. How cool would that be? I'm trying to think back to some of the things that we've got that have recorded voices from the past and things like that. So just take note. Written notes help organize the information. Taking notes during or after the interview helps capture key points quickly. Written summaries allow researchers to organize topics and identify follow-up questions. Notes also make it easier to locate specific details later. All I would do is write down a couple of keywords in the order that the stories were told in. So if I'm interviewing somebody, I sit there with my notebook and I would just write down a couple of keywords. I might write a question mark next to it to say a follow-up question with that. I may write the question down. It just depends on the interview and how it's going. I want to keep my attention focused on them rather than what I'm writing. But if I just write down a couple of keynotes when they start telling a new story, it helps me put into order what she talked about and how far I need to go through the tapes and things. Combining both methods work best. Many historians record interviews while taking brief notes, which is basically what I do. The approach protects the full story while also highlighting important moments. It provides both depth and organization. Transcripts improve accessibility. So turning recordings into written transcripts allows stories to be searched and shared easily. Transcripts also make the information accessible to people who prefer reading. This step adds long-term research value. Share a trick with you in a moment. Digital recordings should always be stored in multiple locations. Backup copies protect recordings, so store in multiple locations. Cloud storage, external drives, printed transcripts provide security. Preservation ensures the story remains available for future generations. Why does this all matter? Because preserving both voice and written recordings strengthens family history. Now, here's a really cool trick. If you're doing a family reunion or something, have people, take plenty of pictures, note the picture that was taken, who was in the picture, because sometimes when you get back, you go, oh, who was that person again? Because you may meet a lot of people that you have not met yet. There could be new spouses, there could be relatives who have never been to a family reunion before, and you're reconnecting with somebody that you haven't seen for a long time. And so just taking quick notes of who was in different photographs that you took can help you recall later on. When you're talking with people, record what they're saying. Again, take the notes as well. When you get back, you can transcribe the videos. There's plenty of great programs out there like Cast Magic that will transcribe the videos for you, and different other ones out there that will convert the spoken word into typewritten. Now what you can do with those is you can take those transcripts, put them together in a book, take the videos and the audio recordings, upload them to a YouTube channel. That could be a private channel just for the family. They must have the link to be able to and then when you create the book, put QR codes in the book that tie directly to the audio or the video recording of that interview. And then you bind those up and each family gets one for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever. Everyone gets one once a year for each time they have a family reunion. Everybody gets a copy in the family. All the families get a copy. And that way it's preserved and people can look at those at any time. There's lots of photographs in there. You've got photographs of the person who's being interviewed. You've got the transcript there. You've got the QR code that will take you to the YouTube channel where there is the unlisted video that anybody that has that link can hear it or see it if it's a video. And it's just a piece of history that everybody gets and gets to keep and preserve and stuff. And this way you can preserve the family stories because people at family reunions will reminisce. Oh, do you remember the time we did da-da-da-da-da? And off they go on another story. Designate some people to be recorders, like pull out their phone and just hit the record button on the voice thing. And later on they can go back and say, did that recording, and so forth. So just do that. So your practical takeaway is record interviews and create written summaries afterwards. If you want help organizing oral history interviews, send us a private message and let's set up a 30-minute discovery call to get you on the path to helping you organize your oral history. And in closing, voices preserved today become memories tomorrow. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. He konera.
The stories we carry stay bright through the night, a small steady glow in the fading light. Stories of love, loss and pride we share, until we meet again. Keep the porch light burning.